Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my name is Guthrie and I'm actually working with Dr. Moss in the Turf Management Research Center. So what my project is trying to find out which Bermuda grass variant is a drought resistant versus drought tolerant. So basically what I'm doing right now is just kind of getting all my data together and trying to get my plots, which are these little plots right here, trying to get them all consistent with each other on the same level, so when we start actually doing our research that we're more consistent with the plots that we have. So this score right here is actually what we're looking at getting a little bit closer. See, there's a lot of 8s and 9s. We're trying to get them all to a 9, which is like perfect in terms of their greenness and their presentation, the amount of thickness and cover there is in the actual grass. So, and these are all the different types of, we have 10 different grass variants and 5 trials of each one, so we have about 50 of these pots. So I have to collect data on those almost every day as soon as we start the project, which will be this following Monday. So, and basically what I've been doing is just kind of doing maintenance on these things to get them to where they need to be. We fertilize every other week. And now we're getting to the point where they're getting close enough together that we're going to start cutting them back on water, trying to get them used to being able to get into realizing that there's a drought. Because if we just shut the water off completely to them, it'll shock them and it'll kill them a lot faster. So what we want to do is just cut their water usage back as slowly as possible. And I've actually been helping Kenton out a lot this week. We have been propagating some more of our different types of grasses that we're actually going to be testing, or that OSU is actually going to be testing after I leave. There's some more different types of Bermuda grasses and stuff over there that they're going to put on one of their new plots that actually just washed away in that flood that happened a couple weeks ago. So basically what I'm doing is trying to get why we put them in these pots. Well, we tried to do it in an actual plot setting where we had them all outside, but we realized that we have 3 strains from Georgia, and that when the water was taken away from them, they weren't actually trying to be tolerant to the drought. They were resisting it by digging their roots deeper and trying to find water. So that's not as consistent as we want it to be. We want them to be drought tolerant, not resistant. So what we're trying to do right now is just trying to keep them contained in these containers so their roots can't grow anywhere and they're more consistent in terms of their surface area that their roots and stuff cover. So we'll start that process next week, and I'll have to go in and I'll have to record all the data and stuff for those. So, are there any questions?
Whenever you said that you are slowly cutting back on their water, whenever that happens, do they just stop giving them water?
It normally depends, but plants usually know when a drought's coming because the water tends to slowly die off. It doesn't just quit automatically. So you're not going to have a flood or you're not going to have it flooded and then it just instantly stop, unless that's in an extreme scenario, which is not really what we're testing for. We're testing for actual real world things that are going to kind of just slowly decrease, and the plant's going to become aware of that and try to adapt instead of just shutting the water off immediately and shocking it and killing it instantly.
Do you guys cut the grass?
Yes, actually we do. We have to trim it at least once or twice a week to keep it at a consistent 1-inch height. That way they're all on a consistent basis. And there's some of them that actually aren't as tolerant to cutting as the other ones are. If we cut them down to 1 inch, there's some of them that'll turn kind of brown and they scar. So that'll deal with like their consistency score over here and tell us what grasses can take the lower cuts and which ones can't. Any more questions?
Can you explain the numbers, like exactly what you mean? Like, how do you know what number to give them? And is it a scale or anything like that?
Okay, so our scale is basically from 9 to 1, and this one is actually just the turf grass number itself. So what's involved in that is like your color, your consistency, and the fullness of it. But we have another one that's called leaf fire, I believe is what it's called. And what that is the deadness scale. So if you go in there and there's like a quarter of it dead, you'd probably give it a 6. and then you would just go down from there. So if it keeps dying, like if you have over 9% of it die, you probably only have a 1 there, and then or a 2, and as soon as it's all dead, there's no green sprigs or anything left in the pot, it is a 1. So that's when the process for that will be done, and I can actually take that data and be like, okay, this one died first, and it's less drought tolerant than the rest. Anybody else? Thank you.